She stumbled backward like his words had physically struck her. Her hand flew to her chest, fingers trembling against the silk fabric of her server uniform. The entire banquet hall had gone silent. "What did you just say?" Her voice cracked. Minjun's eyes were ice, cold, unrecognizable. "You heard me. You're just a black servant. Did you really think—" He laughed, cruel and sharp. "Did you really think someone like me could want someone like you?" Her vision blurred. The chandeliers above became dancing stars of light. She could feel 300 pairs of eyes burning into her skin. This was the man who'd whispered, "I love you," against her neck just 12 hours ago. The man whose bed she'd woken up in this morning. "Minjun, please, don't." He stepped closer, his voice dropping to a whisper only she could hear. "The baby isn't mine. Get rid of it." Everything went silent. Her hand instinctively moved to her stomach. She'd only found out yesterday. She hadn't even told him yet. How did he— "That's right. I know everything." His smile was poisonous. "Did you think you could trap me? My father's already arranged my marriage to Park Ji-won. It's happening next month." "But you said—" Her knees buckled. "You said we'd run away together." "I lied." He turned away. "Security, escort this woman out. Make sure she never steps foot in any of our properties again." Two men in black suits grabbed her arms. As they dragged her toward the exit, she caught a reflection in the gilded mirror. Her makeup was running. Her dignity was shattered. But somewhere deep inside, a fire started burning. 3 months earlier, it started when she stopped believing in fairy tales. "Girl, you cannot wear that to the interview." Maya, her best friend and roommate, held up Zara's conservative black dress with 2 fingers like it was contaminated. "You look like you're going to a funeral." Zara snatched it back. "It's a job interview at the Seoul Grand Hotel, not Fashion Week. I need to look professional." Professional, not dead. Maya pulled out a deep burgundy blouse from her own closet. "Trust me, this with your black pencil skirt, that's professional and unforgettable." Zara studied her reflection. At 26, she'd learned that being unforgettable as a black woman in Seoul meant walking a tightrope. Too bold and you were threatening. Too meek and you were invisible. She'd been living in South Korea for 3 years now, teaching English and scraping by. The Seoul Grand Hotel job, if she got it, would change everything. Benefits, stability, a chance to actually save money. "What time's your interview?" Maya asked, applying lipstick at their shared vanity. 2 o'clock. Yours?" Maya grinned. "Same company, different department. I'm going for the guest relations position. We could be working together, babe." They'd met at a Korean language class 2 years ago. Maya was Korean American, fluent and confident in ways Zara envied. She navigated Seoul like she was born for it. Zara still felt like a visitor pretending to belong. The hotel was spectacular, all marble and gold with floor-to-ceiling windows that overlooked Namsan Tower. Zara's heels clicked against the pristine floor as she approached the reception desk. "Zara Thompson, I have an interview with Mr. Lee at 2. Top floor, executive suite." The receptionist barely looked up. "Elevator to your left." The elevator was glass enclosed. As it climbed, Seoul spread out beneath her like a glittering promise. She thought about her mother back in Atlanta, working 2 jobs to help pay for Zara's student loans. "Make it worth it," she'd said. "Make us proud." The doors opened to reveal a hallway that smelled like expensive cologne and old money. A young woman in a crisp suit greeted her. "Ms. Thompson, I'm Ji-won. I'll be conducting your first interview." Park Ji-won. The name would come to haunt her later, but right now all Zara noticed was how perfect everything about this woman was. Her posture, her smile, the way she moved like she owned the air itself. The interview went well. Too well. Ji-won asked standard questions, and Zara gave practiced answers about customer service excellence and cultural adaptability. But there was something else happening beneath the surface. Ji-won kept checking her phone, distracted. "I apologize," Ji-won said finally. "Family matters. You understand?" Zara nodded, even though she didn't. "You're hired. Start Monday. Someone from HR will contact you with details. Jiwon stood abruptly. Welcome to the Seoul Grand Hotel family. That was it? No second interview? No reference checks? Zara was still processing as she rode the elevator back down. The doors opened on the lobby level and she stepped out, directly into someone's chest. I'm so sorry, She looked up, and everything changed. He was tall, sharp jawline, eyes like midnight, dressed in a black suit that probably cost more than her monthly rent. But it was the way he looked at her that made her breath catch. Not through her, not past her, at her. Like she was the only person in the entire lobby. Are you hurt? His English was perfect, with just a hint of an accent that made her stomach flip. I'm fine, really. I should have watched where I was going. You're new? It wasn't a question. How did you know? His lips curved into something that almost resembled a smile. I know everyone who works here, and I would have remembered you. Heat crawled up her neck. I start Monday, actually, just got hired. Then I'll see you Monday, Zara Thompson. He walked away before she could ask how he knew her name. She stood there, frozen, watching him disappear into a private elevator. A hand touched her shoulder. Girl. Maya's eyes were wide. Do you know who that was? Should I? That was Kang Min-jun. His family owns this hotel, and about half of Seoul. Maya grabbed her arm. And he just looked at you like, did you see the way he looked at you? Zara's heart was still racing. Don't be ridiculous. I'm not, trust me. That man is trouble with a capital T. Maya steered her toward the exit. He's engaged, by the way. Arranged marriage to some Chibol princess. It's been in all the news. Then it doesn't matter how he looked at me. Right. Maya didn't sound convinced. Let's get dinner. You can tell me everything about your interview. But as they left the hotel, Zara glanced back. Through the glass windows, she could see him on his phone, looking up toward where she'd been standing. Monday came too fast and too slow. Zara arrived an hour early, dressed in the hotel's required uniform, a black pencil skirt and white blouse with a burgundy silk scarf. Her name tag felt heavy. Zara Thompson, Banquet Services. You're the new girl. A Korean woman in her 40s looked her up and down. I'm Mrs. Cho. You'll be working under me. We have a wedding reception tonight. 500 guests. You'll be on champagne service. The day was a blur of instructions and corrections. Smile more. Walk faster. Don't make eye contact with the guests unless they address you directly. By 7 p.m., Zara's feet were screaming, and the reception hadn't even started. The ballroom was transformed. Crystal everywhere. White roses that probably cost more than her education. A string quartet playing something classical and melancholy. Champagne. Mrs. Cho thrust a tray into her hands. Start on the east side. Work your way west. Do not drop anything. Zara moved through the crowd like a ghost. Invisible. That's what good service was supposed to be. Anticipating needs without being noticed. She'd perfected the art of invisibility years ago. Champagne, sir? The man turned. It was him, Min-jun. He was with a group of men in expensive suits, all laughing at something one of them had said. Up close, he was even more devastating. His tie was slightly loosened. His hair had that artfully messy quality that probably took 30 minutes to achieve. Their eyes met. Recognition flared in his. Thank you. He took a glass, his fingers brushing hers. The contact lasted half a second too long. You're settling in well? Yes, sir. Min-jun, he corrected. We're not that formal here. One of the men in his group laughed. Since when are you not formal, Kang? You make the rest of us look friendly. I'm friendly. Min-jun's eyes never left Zara's. When I want to be. She should have walked away, should have remembered the rules. But something about the way he looked at her made her feel reckless. I should continue serving. Stay. His voice dropped, just for a moment. The other men had moved away, distracted by something else. It was just the two of them in a ballroom full of people. I can't. Mrs. Cho works for me. He took a sip of champagne. Tell me something. Why Seoul? Why not? Most people have reasons, running from something, running towards something. Zara felt exposed. Maybe both. Honest. He seemed pleased. I like that. Min-jun! A woman's voice cut through the music. Park Ji-won appeared beside them, looking perfect in a floor-length gown. She linked her arm through his possessively. Darling, your father's looking for you. The temperature dropped 10 degrees. Of course. Min-jun's expression shifted, became distant, professional. He looked at Zara like she was just another server again. Thank you for the champagne. They walked away together, and Zara stood there holding an empty tray, trying to understand what had just happened. The affair began slowly, then all at once. It was 2 weeks before she saw him again. She'd started to think she'd imagined the whole thing, the intensity, the connection. But then she was assigned to work a private dinner in one of the hotel's exclusive suites. 20 guests, Mrs. Cho briefed her. These are very important people. Do not speak unless spoken to. Do not. I know. Zara had heard the speech a dozen times. The suite was on the 42nd floor, floor-to-ceiling windows, a view that made Seoul look like a fantasy. The guests were all men, all powerful-looking, all speaking rapid Korean that Zara couldn't quite follow. Except for Min-jun. He sat at the head of the table, listening more than talking. When she approached to refill his wine, he looked up. Zara? Her name in his mouth sounded different. Still settling in? Yes, sir, Min-jun. She corrected herself. One of the men said something in Korean. The others laughed. Zara didn't need a translation to know they were talking about her. She kept her expression neutral, professional. Min-jun's jaw tightened. He responded in Korean, his tone sharp. The laughter died immediately. The man who'd spoken looked down at his plate. After the dinner, as Zara was clearing dishes, Min-jun approached her in the suite's kitchen area. What did he say? She asked quietly. Nothing important. I'm not stupid. I know when... He made a comment about your appearance. I told him to shut up before I removed his tongue. Min-jun said it casually, like he was discussing the weather. No one disrespects my employees. Is that what I am? An employee? The air between them changed, charged. You should go home, Zara. Are you firing me? No, I'm trying to be decent. He moved closer. Because if you stay, I'm going to do something neither of us can take back. She should have left, should have been smart. Instead, she stepped closer too. Maybe I don't want to take it back. He kissed her like he was drowning and she was air, desperate, consuming, his hands in her hair, her back against the counter. She could taste wine on his tongue, feel the barely controlled intensity in every movement. This is a bad idea, he murmured against her mouth. Terrible. I'm engaged. I know. I can't offer you anything. I'm not asking for anything. That was the first lie she told herself. 2 months of heaven and hell. They became experts at stolen moments. Quick kisses in empty hallways, his hand on her lower back as he passed, text messages that said, I miss you, and come to my office and you're all I think about. Maya noticed immediately. You're glowing, and not in a good skincare routine way. In a, someone's been giving you regular Stop. Zara threw a pillow at her. I knew it. It's him, isn't it? The Chaebol prince? Zara didn't deny it. Babe. Maya's expression shifted to concern. You know this can't end well, right? Men like that don't leave women like Ji-won for women like us. I know. Do you, though? The thing was, when Zara was with Min-jun, the world made sense. He'd pick her up after her shifts, and they'd drive through Seoul at 2 a.m., talking about everything and nothing. He told her about growing up under his father's thumb, about the weight of expectations, about how he'd never chosen a single important thing in his life until her. Run away with me, he said one night. They were in his penthouse, a space that felt more like a prison than a home, all expensive furniture and no personality. We could go somewhere no one knows us, start over. And do what? Zara laughed, but her heart was soaring. You're a Chaebol heir. I'm a hotel server. You're more than that. He pulled her onto his lap. You're the only real thing in my life. She wanted to believe him. God, she wanted to believe him so badly. The sex was intense, desperate, like they were both trying to prove something. After, he'd hold her like she might disappear, his fingers tracing patterns on her skin. I love you, he whispered one night. She'd been falling for weeks, but hearing the words broke something open inside her. I love you too. I'm going to fix this. The engagement, my father, all of it. His eyes were fierce. I'm going to choose you, Zara, I promise. But promises in the dark are easy. Daylight made them complicated. At work, they were professional, distant. It killed her every time he walked past without acknowledging her. Every time he was photographed with Jiwon at some event, looking like the perfect couple. You're torturing yourself, Maya said, watching Zara scroll through photos of Minjun and Jiwon at a charity gala. Stop looking at that. I can't help it. Yes, you can. Block, delete, move on. But how could she move on when 3 hours later he'd be in her bed, promising her forever? The turning point came at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday. Zara woke up alone. Not unusual. Minjun always left before dawn, but her phone was buzzing. 17 missed calls from a number she didn't recognize. She answered groggily. Hello? Stay away from my fiancé. Jiwon's voice was ice. I know about you, about the affair. Did you really think you could keep it secret? Zara sat up, suddenly wide awake. Jiwon, I don't care about your excuses. You're nothing. A phase. Exotic entertainment. The cruelty in her voice was breathtaking. Minjun and I are getting married in 6 weeks. That's not changing. So whatever fantasy you've built in your head, destroy it. The line went dead. Zara's hands were shaking. She called Minjun. Voicemail. Called again. Nothing. Sent a text, we need to talk. Now. He showed up an hour later, looking disheveled. What's wrong? Jiwon called me. She knows. The color drained from his face. What did she say? That you're getting married in 6 weeks. That I'm nothing. That... Her voice cracked. Is it true? Are you still going through with it? It's complicated. That's not an answer. She was shouting now. Didn't care if the neighbors heard. You said you'd fix it. You promised me we'd be together. And we will. I just need more time. Time for what? To keep lying to both of us? To keep sneaking around like I'm some dirty secret? You're not. He grabbed her shoulders. You're the only real thing I have. Then prove it. Tell your father no. Cancel the wedding. Choose me. Silence, heavy and devastating. I can't. Not yet. Then we're done. The words tasted like death. Get out. Zara, get out. He left, and she collapsed on the floor, sobbing so hard she thought she might break. Maya came home an hour later and found her there still crying. Oh, babe. Maya held her. I'm so sorry. I'm such an idiot. No, you're human. You fell in love. That's not stupid. But it felt stupid. It felt like the stupidest thing she'd ever done. 2 weeks later, the pregnancy test. Zara stared at the 2 pink lines like they might rearrange themselves into something else, something that made sense. Positive, Maya whispered, looking over her shoulder. Oh my God, this can't be happening. But it is. What are you going to do? Zara didn't know. She hadn't spoken to Minjun since that night. He'd tried calling, texting. She'd ignored all of it. And now this. I have to tell him. Do you, though? I mean, after everything. He deserves to know. Even after the lies, the broken promises, he deserved to know he was going to be a father. She sent one text. We need to talk. It's important. His response was immediate. The charity banquet tonight, come. We'll talk after. The charity banquet? The same event she was scheduled to work. The universe had a sick sense of humor. Zara arrived at the banquet hall early. Her uniform felt too tight, or maybe that was just her anxiety. Maya had wanted to come, but Zara needed to do this alone. The ballroom was packed. Souls elite in their designer clothes, dripping diamonds and arrogance. Zara moved through the crowd with her tray of champagne, invisible again. She saw Min-jun by the bar. He was with Ji-won, their arms linked, the perfect couple. Something inside Zara twisted painfully. He needs to know, she reminded herself. After tonight, you'll tell him, and then figure out the rest. But then everything went wrong. Mrs. Cho pulled her aside. You're being reassigned. VIP table service. Mr. Kang's table specifically. Of course she was. Zara approached the table carrying a bottle of champagne that probably cost more than her car. Min-jun saw her. Their eyes met. Something flashed across his face. Regret? Guilt? Champagne? She asked, her voice steady despite the screaming in her head. Ji-won's eyes narrowed. You're the one who's been sleeping with my fiancé. The entire table went silent, then the tables around them. The silence spread like poison through the ballroom. Ji-won, Min-jun started. Don't. Ji-won stood, her voice rising. Don't defend her. Don't make excuses. She turned to Zara. Did you really think he'd choose you? Look at yourself. You're just a black servant. Good enough to fuck, but never good enough to marry. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Zara felt 300 pairs of eyes on her. Her hand tightened on the champagne bottle. Ji-won, that's enough. Min-jun stood too. Is it? Because I'm tired of pretending. Tired of being humiliated while you slum it with the help. Ji-won's smile was vicious. Tell her, darling. Tell her how you laughed about her with your friends. How you called her your exotic experiment. That's not... Min-jun looked at Zara. I never said that. But the damage was done. Zara could see it in the faces around her. The disgust, the confirmation of what they'd always thought. That she didn't belong. That she never would. You know what the saddest part is? Ji-won continued. She actually believed you loved her. Can you imagine? Being that delusional? Zara's vision blurred. She needed to leave, needed to run, but her feet wouldn't move. Answer me one thing, Ji-won said. Was she good? Was she worth risking everything? And then Min-jun said the words that shattered her world. You heard me. You're just a black servant. Did you really think someone like me could want someone like you? We've reached the hook moment. The story has circled back. The security guards dragged her through the lobby, past the marble, past the gold, past the elevator where they'd first met. She didn't fight, didn't cry. Not until they dumped her on the sidewalk outside and drove away. Then the sobs came, violent and uncontrollable. Her phone rang. Maya. I saw it. Maya's voice was thick with fury. I saw the whole thing. Where are you? Outside. Don't move, I'm coming. But Zara couldn't stay there, couldn't stand on that sidewalk where hotel guests were stepping over her like she was trash. She started walking, didn't know where, didn't care. Her hand moved to her stomach. There was a baby in there, a baby whose father had just publicly humiliated her, a baby who deserved better than this mess. She found herself at a bus stop, sat down, stared at nothing. Zara? A male voice, gentle. She looked up. It was Jae-hyun, one of the hotel's guest relations managers, Maya's co-worker. She'd met him a few times. He was kind, funny, the complete opposite of Min-jun. Are you okay? I saw what happened. That was... He sat beside her. That was unforgivable. I'm fine. You're not, and you don't have to be. He pulled off his jacket and draped it over her shoulders. Let me call you a cab. I don't want to go home. Then let's get coffee or food, or just sit here, whatever you need. They sat in silence, and for the first time in hours, Zara could breathe. Zara hadn't left her apartment since the banquet, hadn't answered her phone, hadn't checked social media, though Maya told her the video had gone viral. Black woman humiliated at Seoul charity event. She was international news for all the wrong reasons. You need to eat something. Maya placed a bowl of ramyeon in front of her. And shower, you're starting to smell. Gee, thanks. I'm serious. You can't let him destroy you like this. He already did. No, he destroyed the fantasy. The real you, she's still here. Hurt, yeah, but not destroyed. Maya grabbed her hand. You're stronger than this, than him. Zara wanted to believe her, but every time she closed her eyes, she saw his face, heard his words. You're just a black servant. Her phone buzzed. For the 100th time, Minjun's name appeared. Please answer. Please let me explain. She deleted the message, blocked the number. Good. Maya nodded approvingly. That's a start. There was a knock at the door. Maya went to answer, and Zara heard raised voices. She doesn't want to see you. I need to talk to her. Please. Minjun. He was here, at her apartment. Zara stood, her body moving on instinct. She walked to the door, saw him standing there looking like he hadn't slept in days. You need to leave, she said. Not until you hear me out. There's nothing to hear. You made yourself clear at the banquet. That wasn't me. That wasn't... His voice broke. I didn't mean any of it. Then why did you say it? Because my father was there. Because Jiwon's family was there. Because I'm a coward. He looked at her with desperate eyes. I panicked. I said what they expected me to say. But none of it was true. You expect me to believe that? I expect you to listen. 5 minutes, that's all I'm asking. Maya looked at Zara. It's your call, babe. Zara wanted to slam the door in his face, wanted to tell him to go to hell. But there was something else, too. A tiny, stupid part of her that still loved him. 5 minutes. She stepped outside, closing the door behind her. Talk. Minjun looked wrecked. His usually perfect hair was a mess. His clothes were wrinkled. He'd been crying. She could see it in his eyes. I love you, he started. That's the only thing I'm sure of anymore. Everything else, my family, the business, the marriage, it's all falling apart, but that's the one truth I can't escape. You have a funny way of showing love. I know I fucked up. What I said, what I let Jiwon say, it's unforgivable. I hurt you in front of everyone and I can't take it back. No, you can't. But I can tell you the truth. He took a breath. My father's company is in trouble. Has been for months. The only thing keeping us afloat is a merger with Jiwon's family. If I don't marry her, we lose everything. The hotel, the properties, thousands of jobs. So you chose money over me. I chose survival. For my family. For the people who depend on us. His voice hardened. I'm not asking you to understand. I'm just telling you why. And the baby? The words were out before she could stop them. His entire body went still. What? I'm pregnant. 3 months. The color drained from his face. How long have you known? I found out the day of the banquet. I was going to tell you that night. She laughed bitterly. Perfect timing, right? Oh my God. He reached for her, but she stepped back. Zara, this changes everything. Does it? Or is this baby just another complication you need to handle? Don't. His voice broke completely. Don't say that. This baby, our baby. There is no our. There's me and a baby. You made your choice. Then I choose different. He dropped to his knees right there in the hallway. I choose you, both of you. Fick the merger. Fick my father. Fick all of it. Zara stared down at him. This powerful man, this Chable heir, on his knees in her crappy apartment hallway. You're going to cancel the wedding? Yes. You're going to tell your father the truth? Yes. You're going to claim this baby publicly? Deal with all the backlash, the scandal? Yes. He grabbed her hands. I'll do anything. Everything. Just don't shut me out. Please. She wanted to believe him, wanted it so badly it hurt. I need time. How much time? I don't know. But if you're serious about choosing us, then prove it. Cancel the wedding. Tell your father. Make it real. She pulled her hands away. Until then, stay away from me. Zara, those are my terms. Take them or leave them. He stood slowly, nodded. Okay, I'll prove it. He turned to leave, then looked back. I love you. That's never been a lie. After he left, Zara went back inside. Maya was waiting. Did he grovel? He groveled. Good. He should grovel for the rest of his life. Maya pulled her into a hug. How are you feeling? Confused, angry, scared. That's fair. You're allowed to feel all of that. I don't know if I can forgive him, Maya. What he said was bullshit designed to protect himself. Doesn't make it okay, but at least now you know why. Maya pulled back. Question is, do you love him enough to get past it? I don't know. Well, you've got 9 months to figure it out. Zara was at the grocery store when her phone exploded with notifications, news alerts, text messages, calls from numbers she didn't recognize. She opened a news app. The headline made her knees weak. Kang Min-jun cancels engagement to Park Ji-won, cites irreconcilable differences. There was a photo of him at a press conference looking grim, a statement about respecting privacy during this difficult time. No mention of Zara or the baby, but the implication was clear. He'd actually done it. Her phone rang. Maya. Are you seeing this? I'm seeing it. He actually canceled the wedding. Oh my God, he actually... Maya paused. Wait, why don't you sound more excited? Because now it's real. Now I have to decide if I can actually forgive him. Can you? I don't know. That night, there was another knock on her door, but this time it wasn't Min-jun. It was a woman in her 60s, dressed in an elegant hanbok. Can I help you? Zara asked. My name is Mrs. Kang. I'm Min-jun's mother. Her English was accented but clear. May I come in? Zara's heart hammered. I don't think that's a good idea. Please, I'm not here to fight. I'm here to understand. Against her better judgment, Zara let her in. Mrs. Kang looked around the small apartment with neutral eyes, then sat on the couch. My son tells me you're pregnant with his child. Straight to the point, then. Yes, and that he loves you. That's what he says. Do you love him? The question hung in the air. Zara could lie. Should lie. But something about this woman's directness demanded honesty. Yes. Mrs. Kang nodded slowly. He's been miserable, you know, since that night at the banquet. Won't eat, won't sleep, just works and stares at his phone, waiting for you to call. I'm not trying to make him miserable. I know, you're protecting yourself, that's smart. Mrs. Kang leaned forward. I won't pretend to understand my son's choices, or yours. The world we live in, it's complicated, full of rules and expectations. Is this the part where you offer me money to disappear? No. Mrs. Kang smiled slightly. This is the part where I tell you that I've watched my son live half a life for 30 years, following his father's orders, being who we told him to be. And then he met you, and suddenly he was fighting, choosing, living. Zara's throat tightened. I didn't ask him to fight. No, but you gave him a reason to. Mrs. Kang stood. My husband is furious. He's threatening to disown Min-jun, cut him off from the company, make his life hell. Then maybe I should stay away, save everyone the trouble. Or maybe you should give my son a chance to prove he's worth the trouble. Mrs. Kang walked to the door, then turned back. He's not perfect. He's made terrible mistakes. But he loves you. Really loves you. And in my experience, that's rare enough to be worth fighting for. She left, and Zara stood there, feeling like the ground had shifted beneath her feet. Zara had avoided Min-jun for 14 days, ignored his calls, deleted his texts, refused to see him when he showed up at her apartment. She needed space, needed to think, but the universe had other plans. She was at the hospital for her first prenatal appointment. Maya had come with her for moral support. They were in the waiting room when a commotion started near the entrance. Sir, you can't just walk in here. Try to stop me. Min-jun appeared, looking wild. His eyes scanned the room, found Zara, and something in his expression cracked. I'm sorry, he said loudly. I know you said to stay away, but I can't. Not today. Everyone in the waiting room was staring. Zara wanted to disappear. Min-jun, this isn't the time. It's exactly the time. He crossed to her, dropped to his knees. Again. I've spent 2 weeks trying to give you space, trying to respect your boundaries, but I can't miss this. Our baby's first appointment. Please." Zara looked at Maya, who shrugged. "It's your call, babe." The thing was, Zara had been thinking about him too, missing him, wondering if she was being stubborn or self-protective. The line between the two was blurry. "Get up," she said quietly. "You're making a scene." He stood, hope blazing in his eyes. "Does that mean? It means you can come to the appointment, that's all. That's everything." The ultrasound was surreal. The technician spread cold gel on Zara's stomach, and then there it was, a tiny blob on the screen with a flickering heartbeat. "That's your baby," the technician said, "about 12 weeks along. Everything looks healthy." Min-jun was crying, actual tears streaming down his face as he stared at the screen. His hand found Zara's and squeezed. "That's our baby," he whispered. "Our baby." Zara was crying too. Despite everything, the hurt, the anger, the fear, this was real. This tiny life they'd created together. "Would you like to hear the heartbeat?" the technician asked. They listened in silence. A rapid, strong thump, thump, thump that filled the room. "It sounds like a drum," Min-jun said softly. "Strong. Fighter." After the appointment, they sat in his car. Neither of them moved to leave. "Thank you," Min-jun said finally, "for letting me be there. It's your baby, too. But you could have shut me out. You had every right to." "Yeah, well." Zara looked out the window. "Turns out I'm not very good at shutting people out. I'm going to spend the rest of my life making this up to you. Min-jun, I mean it. I don't care what it takes. I'll grovel, I'll beg. I'll prove every single day that I choose you." He turned to face her. "I love you, Zara. I love our baby, and I'm not going anywhere. Your father disowned you. I know. You lost the company. I know. Jiwon's family is threatening to destroy you. I mean, no." He smiled slightly. "And I don't care, because I have you, and this baby, and that's all that matters." Zara wanted to believe him, wanted to let go of the hurt and anger and just love him, but it wasn't that simple. "I need more time." "How much?" "I don't know, but pushing me won't help." He nodded. "Okay, I'll wait, however long it takes." Maya had started dating Jae-hyun. It happened gradually, him checking on Zara after the banquet, which led to coffee with Maya, which led to dinners and movies and stolen kisses in the hotel parking garage. "I really like him," Maya confessed one night. They were at Zara's apartment, eating takeout. Like scary amounts of like. "That's good, isn't it? It's terrifying. What if I screw it up? What if he realizes I'm a disaster?" "Then he's an idiot," Zara smiled. "Jae-hyun's lucky to have you." Speaking of relationships, Maya pointed her chopsticks at Zara. "How's the Min-jun situation?" "Complicated. Still, he sends flowers every day, shows up at random times to check on me, texts me ultrasound photos with little captions like, 'I love you, tiny human.'" Zara sighed. "It's sweet and annoying, and I don't know what to do with it." "Do you love him?" "That's the problem. I do. Even after everything, I still love him." She pushed her food around. "But I don't know if love is enough." "Love's never enough on its own. You need trust, respect, communication." Maya paused. "Has he given you any reason not to trust him? I mean, since the big gesture?" "No, he's been consistent, present." "Then maybe it's time to stop punishing him, or punish him forever. Either way, make a choice." Before Zara could respond, there was banging on her door, aggressive, angry. "Open this door." A male voice. "I know you're in there." Maya jumped up. "Who the hell?" Zara's blood ran cold. She recognized that voice from phone calls with Min-jun, his father. "Don't open it," Maya hissed, but the banging continued. "If you don't open this door, I'll break it down." Zara opened it. Mr. Kang stood there, red-faced with fury. He was shorter than Min-jun but carried the same intensity. Behind him were two men in suits, bodyguards probably. You. He pointed at Zara. You've destroyed my family. Mr. Kang, I don't care what you think. You're nothing. A gold digger who trapped my son with a pregnancy. Excuse me? Maya stepped forward. You need to leave. Now. Or what? You'll call the police. Mr. Kang laughed cruelly. I own the police. I own this city. And I will not let some foreign whore ruin my son's life. The slap came from nowhere. 1 second, Mr. Kang was ranting. The next, he was on the floor, holding his face. Minjun stood over him, breathing hard. Don't you ever speak to her like that again. Minjun's voice was deadly quiet. I don't care if you're my father. Touch her, threaten her, look at her wrong, and I'll forget we're related. Minjun, Zara started. Stay behind me. He didn't take his eyes off his father. Both of you. Mr. Kang stood slowly. You would choose her over your own blood? Every time. Then you're no son of mine. Good. I'd rather be no one's son than a man like you. Mr. Kang's face twisted. You'll regret this, all of this. That baby is mine. And if you say one more word about my child, I'll make sure you never see them. Or me. Ever. The silence was thick enough to choke on. Finally, Mr. Kang straightened his jacket. You're making a mistake. No, marrying Jiwon would have been a mistake. This? Minjun reached back, found Zara's hand. This is the only right thing I've ever done. Mr. Kang left. His bodyguards followed. As soon as the door closed, Minjun turned to Zara. Are you okay? Did he hurt you? I'm fine, but you... She touched his face. You hit your father. He deserved it. Minjun pulled her close. No one talks to you like that, no one. Maya cleared her throat. So, that was intense. I'm going to give you two some privacy. She grabbed her purse. Call me later? After she left, Zara and Minjun stood in the middle of her apartment, still holding each other. You didn't have to do that, Zara said. Yes, I did. He crossed a line. He's your father, your family. You're my family now. You and this baby. Minjun pulled back to look at her. I meant what I said. I choose you, every single time. Zara felt something shift inside her, a wall crumbling. I'm still angry at you, for what you said at the banquet, for lying, for all of it. I know, and it's going to take time for me to trust you again. I know, but... She took a breath. I love you. Despite everything, I still love you. His eyes filled with tears. Say it again. I love you, you idiot. He kissed her, soft at first, then deeper, desperate, like he'd been drowning and she was oxygen. When they finally pulled apart, they were both crying. Move in with me, he said. Not my old place, somewhere new, somewhere that's just ours. Minjun, I know it's fast. I know you need time, but I want to wake up next to you. Want to be there for every appointment, every craving, every moment. He placed his hand on her stomach. Please. Zara thought about her tiny apartment, about being alone at 3 a.m. when the baby kicked, about trying to do this without him. Okay? Okay? Okay, let's try this. For real this time. His smile could have lit up the entire city. For real, I promise. The penthouse overlooked the Han River, floor-to-ceiling windows, modern furniture that Zara had picked out herself, a nursery painted soft yellow with a crib that Minjun had assembled, badly but with enthusiasm. Zara was 8 months pregnant now, huge and uncomfortable and radiant. Minjun couldn't keep his hands off her, always touching her stomach, talking to the baby, making ridiculous promises about being the best dad in the world. I'm serious, he said one night. They were in bed, his hand making circles on her belly. I'm going to teach them everything, how to ride a bike, how to swim, how to stand up to bullies. What if they don't want to do any of those things? Then I'll teach them whatever they want to learn, piano, dance, underwater basket weaving. Zara laughed. Underwater basket weaving? Whatever makes them happy. He kissed her stomach. Hey, tiny human, it's your dad. Just reminding you that I love you, and your mom, and I can't wait to meet you. The baby kicked. Hard. Right where Minjun's hand was. "Did you feel that?" He looked up at Zara with wonder. They kicked. "They've been kicking for months, babe." But this one felt different, like they were saying hi, or telling you to shut up so they can sleep. Either way, I'll take it. Life had settled into something resembling normal. Minjun had started his own company, something smaller, more ethical than his father's empire. It was struggling, but growing. Zara had quit the hotel, obviously, and was taking online classes in event planning. Maya and Jae-hyun were officially a couple. They came over for dinner every week, bringing gossip from the hotel and making jokes about Minjun's terrible cooking skills. "I'm not that bad," Minjun protested. "You burned water," Maya said. "How do you burn water?" "It evaporated, because you left it on the stove for 40 minutes while you were on a business call." Even Mrs. Kang had come around. She visited every few weeks, bringing traditional Korean baby clothes and advice that Zara half understood. Mr. Kang was still refusing to speak to them, but Mrs. Kang said he'd come around eventually. "Men are stubborn," she'd said, "but babies soften even the hardest hearts." Things weren't perfect. Money was tight. Minjun worked long hours. They argued about stupid things like whose turn it was to do dishes and whether the nursery needed more stuffed animals. It didn't, but Minjun kept buying them anyway. But they were happy. Really, truly happy. The birth. 1 month later, Zara's water broke at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. She was in the kitchen, craving pickles and ice cream, don't judge, when she felt the warm gush. Minjun? He appeared in seconds, hair sticking up, eyes half closed. "What's wrong?" "My water just broke." He stared at her. "Your water?" His eyes went wide. "Your water broke. Oh my God, okay, don't panic." "I'm not panicking. You're panicking." "I'm not... Okay, I'm panicking." He grabbed his phone. "I'm calling the hospital, and Maya, and my mom, and..." "Minjun, breathe." "I can't breathe. You're about to have a baby. Our baby. How am I supposed to breathe?" Despite the contractions starting, Zara laughed. "Just help me get dressed." The drive to the hospital was chaos. Minjun ran 2 red lights and almost hit a parked car. By the time they arrived, Zara's contractions were 5 minutes apart. "Room 304, the nurse said. "Labor and delivery." The next 8 hours were a blur of pain and epidurals, and Minjun holding her hand so tight she thought he might break her fingers. "You're doing great," he kept saying. "So great. I love you so much." "I hate you," she groaned. "This is all your fault." "I know. I'm terrible. The worst." "You are. The absolute worst." "I love you too." Maya arrived at hour 5, bringing magazines and terrible hospital coffee. Jae-hyun came with her, looking nervous. "How is she?" Maya asked. "In pain, cursing my entire bloodline." Minjun smiled. "So, normal." Mrs. Kang showed up at hour 7 with food and traditional herbs that the nurses wouldn't let in the delivery room. And then, at 10:47 a.m., everything changed. "One more push," the doctor said. "Come on, Zara, you've got this." Zara pushed, screamed, felt like she was being torn in half, and then, crying, a baby's cry. "It's a girl," the doctor announced, "a beautiful, healthy girl." They placed her on Zara's chest, tiny and perfect and screaming. Minjun was crying. Zara was crying. Everyone was crying. "Hi," Zara whispered to her daughter. "Hi, baby girl, we've been waiting for you." Minjun touched the baby's tiny hand. "She's perfect. Absolutely perfect." "What are you going to name her?" Maya asked. Zara and Minjun looked at each other. They'd discussed names for months, never quite agreeing. "Grace," Zara said. "Grace Kang." "Grace." Minjun tested the name. "Yeah, that's perfect." Epilogue. 6 months later, the restaurant was loud and warm and full of people Zara loved. Maya and Jae-hyun were officially engaged. He'd proposed last week with a ring he'd designed himself. Mrs. Kang was holding Grace, making silly faces while the baby giggled. Even Mr. Kang had shown up. He hadn't apologized, probably never would, but he'd brought a gift for Grace. A first step. To new beginnings, Maya raised her glass. To love, to family, to figuring shit out as we go. To new beginnings, everyone echoed. Minjun leaned over, kissed Zara's temple. Happy? Terrified, exhausted, covered in baby spit-up. She smiled, but yeah, happy. Good. He pulled out a small box. Because I have one more beginning to propose. Zara's heart stopped. Minjun, I know we said we'd wait, that we'd take things slow, but I'm done waiting. He opened the box. Inside was a ring. Simple, elegant, perfect. Zara Thompson, you're the bravest, strongest, most beautiful person I've ever met. You've forgiven me when I didn't deserve it, loved me when I didn't earn it, and given me the greatest gift of my life. He gestured to Grace, who was now drooling on Mrs. Kang's expensive blouse. I want to spend the rest of my life proving I'm worthy of you, making you laugh, raising our daughter, maybe having more kids. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Zara interrupted. Or not, whatever you want, as long as I get to do it with you. He took a breath. Will you marry me? The restaurant had gone quiet. Everyone was watching, waiting. Zara thought about that first day in the hotel lobby, the elevator, his smile, how far they'd come from that moment, how much they'd survived. Yes, she said, yes, I'll marry you. He slipped the ring on her finger, kissed her while everyone cheered. Grace started crying and they pulled apart, laughing. I love you, Minjun said, forever, no matter what. I love you too. Zara kissed him again. But if you ever humiliate me in public again, I'm keeping the ring and taking the baby. Fair, he grinned. Completely fair. Maya wiped her eyes. I'm not crying. You're crying. We're all crying, Jae-hyun said, pulling her close. Mrs. Kang stood, raising her glass. To my son and his beautiful family, may your love continue to grow, and may Grace grow up knowing she was born from something real and rare, two people who chose each other despite everything telling them not to. They clinked glasses, ate too much food, told embarrassing stories. Grace fell asleep in Zara's arms, and Minjun watched them with such open love that Zara's chest ached. What are you thinking? She asked quietly. That I'm the luckiest man alive. Damn right you are. He laughed, kissed her forehead. And I'm never letting you forget it. Outside, Seoul sparkled with lights. Inside, surrounded by family and love and the sound of Grace's soft breathing, Zara felt something she hadn't felt in a long time. Hope. Pure, uncomplicated hope. The beginning of their story had been messy, painful, full of mistakes and misunderstandings, but the ending, or rather, this new beginning, was exactly what they'd fought for. Love. Real, imperfect, beautiful love. And that was worth everything.